الجنة الخضراء بهاء قطفنا من نسائمها الثمينة بني قومي إلى القرب.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. إخوتي وأخواتي في الله, in whichever circumstances we are not allowed nor permitted to give a preference to the custom or feelings of the people over the deen of Allah. My respected brothers and sisters in the deen of Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal, Islam came without any deficiency in it, rather it is perfect and complete. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ma'idah, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Today I have perfected your religion for you and have completed my blessing upon you and chosen Islam as deen for you. وَكَانَ مِن تَمَامِ الدِّينِ وَإِكْمَالِ النِّعْمَةِ أَنْ شُرِعَ لَنَا التَّعَدُّدُ. And from the perfection of deen and completion of blessing is that it is enjoined for us التَّعَدُّدُ, multiplicity of marriage. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah An-Nisa, فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَى وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَاعَ. Marry the women you like in twos, in threes, and in fours. In Qurtubi, under this verse, there's a lengthy explanation that some ignorant people say the waw in the verse is jami'ah, which means that the verse gives ibahat to marry 9 wives. وقال هذه المقالة الرافضة وبعض أهل الظاهر. The people who said this statement are Rawafid and some of Zahiriyya. To such an extent that some of Zahiriyya, they say that the verse gives ibahat of al-jam'u bayna 18, having 18 wives. Nevertheless, in Ma'arif al-Quran, the author explains that one man could have more than one wife was something considered permissible in all religions of the world even before the advent of Islam. When Ghailan ibn Salama al-Thaqafi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu accepted Islam, وَكَانَ تَحْتَهُ 10 نِسْوَةٍ فِي الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ وَأَسْلَمْنَ مَعَهُ. And under him were 10 wives in Jahiliyyah, and they all accepted Islam with him. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam instructed him أَن يَخْتَارَ أَرْبَعًا مِّنْهُنَّ, to choose 4 wives from them. Harith ibn Qais radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, I accepted Islam and by me were 8 wives. So I came to Nabi of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and I mentioned this to him, and he told me اختر منهن أربعًا, choose 4 from them. Today a person is looked down just for speaking about ta'addud al-zawjat. A person gets married, then when he speaks about second wife, he is being compared to the people who got married to 1 wife and still like that for a couple years. Why can't he be compared to those sahabas who had more than 1 wife? Besides that, لَقَدْ خُلِقِنَا مُخْتَلِفِينَ, we were created different. When a person speaks about the second wife, then he is made scared even from the ulamas also, instead of explaining to him the laws pertaining having more than 1 wife. Many of the women, their jealous pushes them to opposing this sunnah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew أن طبيعة المرأة الغيرة من أن يشاركها في زوجها غيرها من النساء, that it is a woman's nature to be jealous that other women should share with her husband. وهي غير ملومة على وجود هذه الغيرة, and obviously he is not to be blamed for having jealous in this state. But it is not right that the ghayrat should make her object to what Allah permitted and made it part of Sharia. That's why it is not the condition that the first wife should be happy or give permission for the second marriage to be valid. Rather, the conditions put by the Sharia are 2. توفير العدل بين الزوجات, having justice and fairness between the wives, والقدرة على الإنفاق, and capability of spending upon them. In fact, the second condition is not only for polygamy. Even when a person has 1 wife, he needs to keep this in mind. One alim said, one wife is not sufficient. وَلَوْ كَانَتْ جَمِيلَةٌ جَمِيلَةٌ, even though she is very malicious of all the women. Ulama have said, if by having one wife still you cannot preserve your chastity, then ta'addud al-zawjat will be permissible. Obvious when those two conditions are found. For the inhabitants of Jannah, Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal has kept more than one hurun ain for one person. The reason perhaps is because men get enjoyment not in having one woman. Wallahu a'lam. If a person is having 5 wives, then we will object to that. Otherwise you have no right. We will not give a preference to the feelings and emotions over what Islam has permitted when we have those two conditions. Man radiya bima radiya bihi Allah wa rasuluhu fahayya wa ahlan wa marhaba. Whoever is happy with what Allah and His Rasul are happy with, then he is most welcome. By having second wife, it will not decrease the rizq and the provision of the first wife. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Zukhruf, نَحَنُ قَسَمْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ مَعِيشَتَهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. We have distributed among them their livelihood in the world life. So Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal already from long wrote for you how much you will eat, and no one will eat your decreed provision. It should be kept in mind that by getting married to second wife, it does not mean that there is something wrong with the first wife. This is just a thought shaitan trying to play with you so that you object to this permissible act. If you will entertain this kind of thought until it pushes you to have objection to this issue of ta'addud al-zawjat, then I warn you with the verse in Surah Muhammad, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ كَرِهُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأَحْبَطَ أَعْمَالَهُمْ. That is because they hate what Allah has sent down. Therefore Allah has nullified their deeds. So whoever will dislike what Allah has sent down, حَبِطَ عَمَلُهُ, his actions will be nullified. In Ma'arif al-Quran it is mentioned that this custom of polygamy prevailed in Arabia, India, Iran, Egypt and Babylon, and among people elsewhere. Its natural validity cannot be denied even to this day. In our time, you are regarded as a strange person when you speak about polygamy. بدأ الإسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا كما بدأ. Islam began when it was strange, and it will soon return to be strange as it was initially. فَتُوبَى لِلْغُرَبَاء. So congratulations to the strange people, those who will rectify what people have destroyed. As for you who says I cannot be second wife, listen to what one of the girls said. It is better to be second wife than a public property. And as for you who objected to what Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made it part of Sharia, جَدِّدُوا إِيمَانَكُمْ مِرَارًا وَتَكْرَارًا. You should repeatedly renew your iman. My last message to our respected sisters in the deen of Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal: do not be a means for your beloved husband to start dating behind your back just because you are against polygamy, taking into consideration your feelings. Otherwise you will be our excuse in the court of Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal on the day of Qiyamah. Allahumma wafiqna lima tuhib wa tarda min al-fi'li wal qawli wal niyyati wal hadi innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir.